Welcome back, everyone. In this video, I will be addressing a few Twitter posts from Nora Shramek, who used to work with Respawn Entertainment as a lighting artist on Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. She makes some rather peculiar complaints about the conditions within Respawn in relation to how Fallen Order was made, but more specifically, why there wasn't a POC or LGBT-oriented protagonist, and it gets kind of funny. All of the information in this video is brought to you by Bounding Into Comics, with an article titled, Former Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order Developer Claims Black and Female Protagonist Pitches Were Rejected. The first tweet we will look at states, when I worked on the Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, a lot, which I hate to interject here, but how much is a lot exactly? I mean, that's a rather vague statement. A lot. Like, how much is a lot? But I digress. Of devs wanted and advocated for the main character to be black and or a woman. What I hate to interject again here, but hey Nora, can you define what a woman is? I'm just curious if you can do that. No? Alright. Reasons for no. We already have 2 black people in the game. Rey is a woman, and we can't do that too. Guess what the demographic of the people making those decisions looked like? Oh, well, hardy har har. Her condescension is duly noted. She's taking a stab at the white, possibly red-headed developers that were working on Fallen Order. But she hasn't convinced me yet why that's a bad thing. She's just complaining about it without giving any reasons why it's bad. Why is it terrible to have a white lead? Why? Why is that so terrible? Why does it have to be LGBT whatever? Why? Why does it have to be that? Now let's move on with the next tweet. The worst thing I heard was when someone, not going to give any info here, said, I think all the black people need to have more glossy skin because black people have more oily skin than other people. Dead shock on everyone's face. Looks at me. Right, Nora? To which Nora claims she replied, Me? What the F is wrong with you? Okay, so it is possible, or I should ask, is it possible that the person who made the oily skin remark did so intentionally, as in to be facetious, or maybe the guy who said it wanted to get under your skin, which, according to your response, it worked. Now, with the point I just made in mind, Nora swears that it wasn't a sarcastic jab at her expense. As Nora claims, no, that specific event was straight up racist for sure. That person and I did not get along at all. Ladies and gentlemen, there it is. I don't think I need any more information to solidify the fact that this guy wanted to get underneath Nora's skin and succeeded in his task. Okay, the guy was being a jerk. He wasn't being racist for the sake of being racist. He was trying to piss Nora off, and apparently it worked. But Nora doubles down on the intentionality of what was said with this tweet. But no, the greatest industry isn't systematically racist, misogynistic, and homophobic. Sarcasm. Now, when she says sarcasm, I don't think she means that what she's saying is sarcasm, because I think she's being totally serious here. But just because, and I think she's jumping the gun. One person making a stupid joke doesn't necessarily logically follow that an entire gaming industry is racist and blah blah blah. She so desperately wants to contribute one instance from one individual to mean that the whole of the industry is racist. And that's just absurd. But Nora continues, I'm not blaming EA, Disney, etc. I'm saying that individuals have power in the process. If those individuals have massive privilege, that buzzword, and by the nature of their life experience shelter them from a full view, that means they need to be extra intentional about their choices. So, it's a patriarchal conspiracy. Is that right, Nora? It's a conspiracy theory? How's that buzz phrase for you? You like it? In this tweet, she just claims that what she's sharing is her own experience, which sounds like legal jargon for you can't sue me for defamation, so we'll skip this whole thing and move right on along. But this is the most important tweet of all, as Nora states. But it's still a problem that people in leadership don't get that, or are afraid there isn't a market for it. If I'm an intersection minority, both from within the industry and without, guess what? There are so many people that fit that in some way that we are becoming majority. Now, the last two words is something I really want to focus on for a minute. Becoming majority. First of all, that is patently false. The SJW rainbow people are not becoming the majority. They are still quite significantly and woefully in the minority. But it's because of the Twitter bubble, the mainstream media bubble, and the Hollywood bubble that convinces people to think they rule the world. And they simply don't. But it's this level of cognitive dissonance that is keeping these people puffed up in their pride. Let me give you a quick little example. Let me tell you a little story that some of you may or may not know. It was roughly a decade ago in California. There was a proposition called Prop 8. It was about whether the California people would vote for or against gay marriage. Now, I want everyone to just allow what I'm about to say to really just absorb entirely into every orifice of your being. Okay. California, one of the most liberal states in America, aside from New York, voted against gay marriage. So when Nora says we're becoming the majority, no, you're not. You are still oh so very in the minority. Well, let's consider other companies like Naughty Dog and how they're shoehorning identity politics into their games. And look at the massive response to that. It's not good. It's a huge response, and it's never positive. So that should tell you something too. But let's continue. Nora says, that's a market. That means we want to see ourselves as the lead. Well, of course you do. But the true majority may not. And that's the disconnect. The last tweet is quite the doozy. Relates, though. It's scary to publicly say anything about experiences with anything negative in game dev, especially if you are a woman, POC, or queer person. So please understand what it takes to speak about hot-button issues when the system doesn't root for you anyway. The system doesn't root for you? You mean the same system that continually perpetuates the message? The same system that releases movies like He's Expecting, which is a scientific impossibility. The same system that presents drag queens to perform while you eat at Taco Bell. The same system that gives Veterans Day one single day and Pride celebration an entire month. That system? Just thought I'd ask Nora. That just about sums up this video. I hope you liked it. And hey, if you did, would you be so kind as to give that subscribe button a little tappity-tap-tap-a-roo? That would be peachy. Thanks. And until next time, guys, have fun.